Top 5 Tour, helping you find the best. Currently with Nisha at Ecovilla in Christchurch. We're just sitting here on the deck. We've got the beautiful organic garden behind us. Nisha, how did you get into the accommodation market? This is your first place?
It is, yeah. So we didn't have any background in accommodation, but we set out to start our own business, and we didn't know what that was going to look like. We relocated from Sydney back to New Zealand. We chose Christchurch because we felt like it was this amazing opportunity. It was just this blank slate after the earthquakes, and you could do anything. You know, there was so many gaps to be filled, and so we were just open to a business that was going to fit with our ethos, and it had to contribute to the planet and be inspiring to people in some way. And so we had an experience of hosting people from our personal home doing Airbnb, and we really enjoyed it. And there's this amazing opportunity when you host someone to inspire them to live, maybe change some way that they are living to be more environmentally friendly. And so we felt like it's a really unique opportunity where you can help people live a better life just simply by setting a good example.
And so how is Ecovilla different? I mean, we can see we've got the organic garden behind us where people can actually, who are staying here, can pick their own lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
What other things are unique about the place?
So we try to be reduce our waste as much as possible. So there's so many ways you can be eco-friendly, and one of them was during the build. It just creates so much waste when you do a building, and it was pretty cool because we actually had the mayor here on our opening night. She made a comment that the most eco-friendly building is the one that's still standing, you know, that hasn't been torn down and rebuilt. And so for us that was also an inspiration, as we saw this beautiful old house and we could see the opportunity to do nightly accommodation just with the size of it and the room layouts, and so we could see this awesome place that just needed a bit of work. And so during the renovation we salvaged as much as we could, and we built the whole kitchen out of recycled timber.
Oh, wow.
And then every room in the house is named after a timber that we salvaged from the house, and we made these beautiful headboards from all the timber, and we basically, all the furniture is made from recycled timber, all the desks in the rooms, the wardrobes, the mirrors.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we
And
we
I
did
believe
a lot
even
of
the
salvaging.
garden, the organic garden, the bricks are...
Yeah, all the brickwork is from the chimney, so we salvaged all the bricks, and pretty much tried to reuse everything that we could.
And I noticed even the picture frames. You've got it down to the last detail. You've used every last thing.
Even there's some little stone blocks in the kitchen. Have you seen those?
No, I didn't.
There's some square stone blocks that have been polished back with pebbles in them. Those were pavers that were sitting out here. These big old pavers. I got them cut down and polished up and inset in the kitchen bench.
Gee.
Yeah.
And so you have got a sustainable slant with it. Are there any other things that you sort of try and do?
Yeah, so the breakfast has ended up being as sustainable as we can do it, and so we've tried to reduce our waste, down to, I was looking at all the packaging and I was like, how can we get rid of one more bottle or one more thing? And so we make our own milks. We've decided to go dairy free because again that uses less resources, because producing milk uses a lot of resources.
This is a dairy area. Can you tell me more about that? They do use there is a lot of water used in dairy.
There is, yeah. It has been a bit controversial lately, and that was part of what inspired it. It was all in the media, and I just thought, how's it going to be received? Because people are used to dairy. It's in everything, and it's one of the main staples.
But for a lot of people, it's a health choice of not having dairy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so it was really interesting because it's amazing how many people don't actually have dairy, and they're really happy not to have dairy. I reckon 50% of our guests don't have dairy anyway. And then the other 50% are really curious to try something different.
Yep.
I wanted to show that you could have a delicious breakfast and not have it to be milk based.
Yeah.
And so we do our own, we make our own coconut yogurt, we make our own nut milks, and we make beautiful chia pudding, and that's reducing waste too, because what we find is the fruit that is no longer pretty enough to put out to serve for breakfast, we will blend that up and turn it into a chia pudding, or we'll make a smoothie out of it. And so we're really trying to minimise all the waste.
And it is a family business, and I see when I saw the breakfast, your mum even makes kombucha. homemade
Yes.
kombucha.
Yeah, she does. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we do a lot, and I mean, we started this business. I was when we purchased the property, I was 6 months pregnant, and we were like, it was a lot of work. Initially, we weren't going to buy the house. We weren't even going to look at it because we're like, too much work, too big.
So it was a complete rebuild, wasn't it? Complete.
And we got it up to commercial, which is a whole, whole feat in itself.
Yeah.
But we thought, first child, we don't really know what we're in for. There's no way we're going to buy it after the child, so why don't we just throw ourselves in the deep end and see what happens? And we had the support of my mum and my partner Evan. He still works full time in IT,
Yeah.
but it uses a lot of our skills. So I've grown up on eco communities, and that's what my mum is, like a great gardener, and is very, very good at making homely places and building. And then Evan's got all this high tech skills, so we've got like electronic door locks and great Wi-Fi, and then I've been involved with startups, so I have sort of a wide range of skills and really good at systems.
So a good combination.
Yeah, so it's a real team effort. Yeah.
And so you did say, you've got the young child yourself, and it is a family-friendly place too. So could you tell me a little bit more about your guests? What sort of guests do you find attracted to a place like this?
It's all across the board. So you just have the traditional person that would stay at a bed and breakfast, and they probably don't use so many of the facilities, and that's fine. I think that they just, use the room, they have a really nice breakfast, they enjoy sitting out and looking at the garden. And then we do get people that, are more family based, or they might be staying longer, and we really enjoy having those people because they use the kitchen, they'll cook a meal. See, we found that when we travelled, and we travelled a lot, that you just get sick of eating out all the time, and you want to have a kitchen where you can make a nice meal. And I hate going to the store and buying lettuce because it just, you have a few leaves and the rest gets
Take a few steps out the back here. Yeah.
I know, the rest is all packaged in plastic and gets thrown away. So it was sort of catered to the kind of traveller that we are, but we feel like there's a gap in the market because we like to meet people as well, so we really wanted to create a social environment.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you graduate from being a backpacker? You either stay in a hotel, which generally pretty bland, not that exciting. A bed and breakfast, which tends to be catered, I reckon, for an older demographic. Not necessarily, but sometimes. And then you've got backpackers, and a lot of people don't want to stay at them anymore. They're too rowdy. They, are not the kind of place that they want to hang out, but they still want the social aspect, but they want the privacy. And so there's this gap in the middle that's not catered for. Yeah. And that's what we were aiming at. Yeah.
And you've also got, I see you got the barbecue down the back, so you have special nights where people can get together and cook up a pizza or... Yeah,
we've just started doing that. We'll have to implement a pizza night soon.
Yeah.
And then we've got the outdoor baths. So we were like, should we put in a spa? And we were like, not really eco-friendly. And I really wanted to have an outdoor bath, but I was like, it's not social, one bath. Then a friend of mine was like, I've seen 2 baths side by side. And I was like, that's it, putting in 2 baths.
Oh, fantastic.
And actually they're the old baths from the house.
Oh, so once again, everything's recycled.
Yeah, and even the bath surrounds are made from the bricks that were at the front of the house.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Yeah. And how have people reacted to it? Like, have you got a positive response from people who've stayed?
People love it. In fact, some comments have been like, are there any more? We want more eco-villas. So, I think it's been really well received.
So you've really tapped into a new market in a way. Sustainable. Sharing kitchen, eat your own food from the backyard.
Exactly, yeah. We felt like our aim was to create a place where you felt like it's like you're home from home, which is sort of our slogan. You've got the comforts of a home, the privacy of your own room. You can use it as you want. So that's really nice because if you stay at a bed and breakfast, you get served breakfast, but you can't use the kitchen.
Yeah.
Hotels don't really have that. Yeah. Backpackers do, but then you have a lot of people. So that's sort of that.
So now that you've done the first one, Nisha, this could be the start of a whole chain around New Zealand.
We'll see. Maybe someone
Ecovilla Christchurch, Ecovilla Queenstown.
Yeah. Maybe someone can get in touch and we'll franchise it.
Thanks for your time, Nisha.
Yeah, thank you.